welcome to the Choir Directors Academy. I am your host, Angela Elaine. Glad to be here on tonight. This will be my last video for a couple of weeks. Number one, next week is Halloween, and I don't feel like trying to do a live at my house. I won't be able to get to the studio. Yeah, I'll be in the studio soon. But I won't be able to get to the studio. And I'm sorry. And I don't really want to hear the doorbell ringing while I'm trying to talk to you all, because, you know, it's the 31st, it's Halloween, and around here they trick or treat and they do all of that. Hey, Annette. They do all of that kind of stuff. So I won't be on next week. And then the following week is our National Holy Convocation in St. Louis. I will be there hanging out with the saints, and all my family is going there. It'll be like a mini family reunion, so you won't see me for a while. 2 weeks, but I will find a video that will kind of keep the theme going as far as choir rehearsals and performances and things of that sort. But if you like what you see, hit the like button and hit the share button and let everybody know that we're on. And if you're on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you for all of those who have subscribed and who've been getting the word out. I really, really appreciate it. Can't do it all by myself. Really can't do that. But I appreciate everything. I appreciate all of the comments, all of the show requests, all of the topics. You all keep them coming, and you know that's good, because they let me know that I'm doing something that is inspiring people and that you're listening. And there's nobody wants to be out there by themselves. Let's just keep that real. But I'm gonna get started, because I know as normal I get started, and then after a while people will come in and I'll be able to answer questions and things of that sort. This was a topic that someone had gave to me quite some time ago, and I've been kind of stalling with it because I know it's very controversial, because people have their own ideas and things, and that's fine. You know, leaders come in all shapes and sizes. Everybody, there are some people who are leaders and they just kind of fell into the thing. And then there are some people who are leaders because they were chosen to be that leader. And when you're chosen, you take a different route that everybody does not understand. Hey, Annette, you take a different route that everybody doesn't truly understand. They kind of sit there and they're like, you know, or whatever, but they don't really understand the concept, because when you're a chosen leader, God puts it inside of you, and you're different. You're just not like everybody else. And you're okay with it. You know, you have to, well, put it this way, you have to grow to be okay with it. When you initially start, you got issues with it. It's like, I just want to be, you know, why can't I fall in line like everybody else? But then when God chooses you specifically to do something, you have to do it the way that he gives it to you. He puts it in your spirit, and you got to do it that way. But anyway, I'm going to get started talking about choral appearance, not performance. We did performance last week. Choral appearances. And I was thinking that it's a twofold thing. It's external, which is what we see when a choir walks up and stands up in front of us. We see the external. We see, you know, their attire, what they're wearing, you know, how they're standing, you know, their attention or whatever. Whatever is on the outside, that is what we see. And we kind of sum them up based on how they look. That's just people. And I know today everybody calls that being judgmental, but I don't see it like that. You just sizing people up. You don't have an interpretation or a thought process behind it. You just see people, and you know, and that you just size them up. You know, nothing in particular. And then the other thing is internal. And that's something that a lot of people don't pay attention to too much, but it really impacts what you do. The internal appearance. Your attitude that comes out when you're singing, when you're standing in front of the people, as you're walking up to the front or the choir stand or whatever you're doing. That's part of your appearance, because people see your attitude and your disposition before they see anything else, really. They see your clothes, and you can be dressed nice, dressed to the T, but they're looking at your attitude, your presence when you walk up. You know, I can't tell you how irritating that is for me when they call for a choir at a particular church, and they may have a nice sized choir, and you see them walk up and they got attitudes, and you just, you know, they're rolling their eyes at the director. They won't follow the director. All of that is part of your appearance. And a lot of people don't think so, but that is, because that's showing us about your relationship with God, whether it's actually there or you just up there doing the job. A lot of people do that. A lot of people are up there in the choir with them just because there's nothing else better to do. You know, they want to be seen or whatever, and they just up there. All of those things play a part in the choir. And another thing people don't consider is that you look at the choir as one unit. Sometimes, I remember in drumline, he said, one band, one sound. Well, it was the same thing with the choir. Each person plays a part to the whole. It's not all about one person or you standing out for this reason or that. No, the whole point of the choir is to promote togetherness, to work together. We work together to worship God. Now, this is kind of geared towards the church choir directors, because secular choirs, community choirs, college choirs, and all of that kind of stuff, I came up through the ranks on that side as well. So, I just don't have a church side. A lot of people think that all I have is just the church side of everything. No, I have the secular side. I've been involved in a lot of different things on the secular side. So I've been blessed to be able to partake in both. And I can tell you, on the secular side, I never had to deal with that. When I say secular, I mean that the choir was not backed by a religious organization. We were just an aggregation of people who sang together, who loved singing, and we just got together and sang. And it's a difference when you got a group of people who want to sing, who want to take a part in something. Their attitude is different. Whatever you say, that's what they generally go along with. Okay, if this is what I have to wear, then I'll do that. I don't care. I just want to say, I'm glad to be a part of this organization. So on the secular side, it's a little bit different. They don't have as many things to contend with as you do in the church choir. Because like I said, everybody has one mind. They're there because they want to be there. I know when I was in the school choir, the concert choir, the glee clubs, all of these different choirs, I was there because I wanted to. So whatever they told us, we had to pay dues, we had to wear certain uniforms, we had to do whatever, I didn't care. So this is more towards the church choirs, to kind of encourage the church choir director, because they have a lot of struggles in dealing with people and trying to get them to come together. Now, when we're thinking about appearance, we think about uniforms, and a lot of people don't like to wear uniforms. And I do know the trend today is for us to, whatever goes is whatever goes, and I get that. Some ministries say, whatever goes. There's no sense of trying to restrict people and get them to wear uniforms. But, as a leader of a choir, and as being growing up in the church choir, and as also performing on the secular side, I disagree with that. And, and it's okay. We all can agree to disagree. You don't have to become all hysterical and everything like that just because you're going to disagree with somebody. But at the end of the show, you'll kind of see my point. The purpose of uniforms is to present a consistent look that will enhance the performance of the choir, not take away. Too many times we do things that take away from what we're doing. Remember, for a church choir, our purpose is to bring glory to God. We want to work together with whoever has been assigned to be the lead at that time. Because, choir directors come and go. Sometimes they stay for 5 years, 10 years, and then they move off the scene, become emeritus, as they say, and then another person comes on scene. So it depends on whoever is selected to be the lead at that point in time. Okay? But it's to present a consistent look. Nothing is better than to see a well-dressed choir. I don't care if they all wearing red. Sometimes with my choir, I tell all the ladies to wear red with gray shoes. And it looks so pretty because everybody has the same color red on. I don't restrict the shoes. They say, well, you can't wear a strap around the ankle. I just tell you have the same color gray. And it looks so pretty and nice. And people receive them, the ladies and the gentlemen, because my gentlemen would have on black suits, and I'd go out and find them some fancy ties, and they would look very nice. Presentation is key. They say it doesn't mean anything. I'm here to tell you, yes, presentation means a lot, because they already, when you walk up there and they see togetherness, when they see everybody in coordinating colors, they see togetherness, and that's what you want to promote. It's also has a psychological effect with uniforms. It really does, because number one, it gives you identification, who you belong to. and everybody wants to belong to some organization. That's why we join all of these different clubs and things. Hey, Shanita. Hey, Deatrice. I said hi to Annette, I think, earlier, just in case I didn't. But we want to belong to an organization. Basically, we do. It may not be a fraternity. It may not be whatever, but, some little club or whatever. But, me, I'm part of a National Association of Financial Accountants. Okay. I'm also part of a committee for the youth. And then I'm also I'm part of all of these different organizations, not because is on me to belong, but it just feels good to belong. When the choir is dressed together, it gives like an identification. I remember when we were in How Sweet the Sound, they identified us pretty much by our robes. Thank you, Shanita. That's my cousin. Thank you so much, fam. They identified us by our robe because all of our robes were different. So they kind of knew where you belong based upon how your robe looked. It's a sense of belonging. That's my second point. It's a sense of belonging. Everybody wants to belong to something. Here, hi, Aaron. Annette is a psychologist. She can tell you want to belong. People just want to belong. They want to fit in. They want to feel like I'm a part of an organization. And that's what it does. Also, it promotes a mutual growth. Hey, Aaron, it promotes growth because something, when I was in the choir and we all were in uniforms and we all kind of dressed alike, and it kind of promoted like a help kind of thing where I didn't look at you as my enemy. It's like all of the altos, we were all together. And I was the section leader, and I would make sure everybody felt love. We get do the group hugs and all this kind of stuff. And if you had a problem getting your part, I would work with you. And then another alto would work. And we would sit in our huddle and we would work together and make sure everybody's got their part. That's what we do. And then the tenors would be doing that thing with their section leaders, and the sopranos would do that thing with the section. And it kind of made, if you weren't lacking, just to know that I'm part of this group and they love me and accept me and they're going to help me get to where I need to be. Uniforms do that to people. It's just like when you get out and if they have all the police officers, you got the Chicago police, you got the Dallas police, you got all these, and they have all their different uniforms. You got Interpol, you got Homeland Security, you got the state police, you got the sheriff. Everybody has their identifying marks, their identifying uniforms. And it's just like even in the hospital, the nurses got one thing, the doctors got something else, the techs got something else. You identify with that group. And they kind of get together and help one another. That's what it is in the choir. Anything that you can do to bring unity. We're, as a society, we are fragmented as it is. We are so fragmented. We just don't. Everybody wants their own show. And I'm not talking about this kind of thing, but I mean, it's like everybody wants nobody wants to cooperate. Everybody just want to be, we're so fragmented. We don't love one another. We just won't get along. So we need, and as far as a choir, you cannot sing well if everybody's not getting along, if everybody's fragmented, everybody's looking around, everybody's whatever. You cannot promote togetherness. You can't get along. And I see that when choirs perform and they wonder why, when you're not together, there's chaos in your delivery. No matter how you try to mask it with beautiful voices, with whatever, I don't care if you sing the latest song, people can hear fragmentation in the music. They can hear friction. They can feel it in the music. People don't understand. Your music gives off what vibes you got going on inside. Camaraderie, exactly. And yes, we are so fragmented. People, we can feel it. You sitting there, you can just feel the tension. And imagine you got a choir, they're up there, they're not in uniform. You can feel the tension between them. You're not gonna get blessed by them singing. Pretty much, you're at the point where you just like, I'll be glad when you sit down, because you're really disturbing me. Okay, you're disturbing me. But when it brings about, you have to have them to pray together. The uniforms kind of bring that in, where you bring in concern. Promotes concern. It promotes unity. And it also brings about an equality among people. Chaos and order can't live in the same house. Exactly, Deatrice. No, they cannot. Hey, V. It brings about equality. It's just like in the parochial schools, and they're adopting that in a lot of public schools now. Uniforms. You don't know who's really rich and who's poor and who can afford and who. That's irrelevant. It gets rid of all of that. That's not we don't care who rich. We don't care if you got a silver spoon in your mouth. We all in the choir together. Everybody looking alike. We don't care. We just want to get together and do what we should do, lift up the name of Jesus. But you know, when you have, sometimes when I see choirs where they tell everybody just wear whatever. Everybody just wear black and white. And oh my God, you get so many forms of it. And you just like, somebody can have on a black top and a white skirt. Then somebody else have on a white top, black skirt. Then somebody got stripes. And then somebody, and when, you don't realize it. But when you're standing up there in front of people, they can't really focus because they see they see so many different things. It's kind of like, oh my God, But uniformity, if everybody is in a white top and a black skirt, I know we used to wear that when, oh my God, that is like the standard uniform for everybody. White blouse, black skirt. But you know what? It works. It works because everybody came in looking alike. And you want equality. You don't want one person figuring like, oh, I'm better than this one because this or that. No. Level the playing field. Well, what we do is based upon you on the inside, your personality, who you are, and how you connect, how your relationship with God and how it comes through. Because sometimes, it's that little singer way back in the back that everybody kind of like, okay, whatever. That's the one that is anointed and brings the house down with the help of God, of course. But they bring the house down. So you want to, uniforms, you want to bring about a camaraderie. You want to make everybody feel included. You don't want anybody to feel that I'm not a part of something, because I see that too much and it disturbs me because you kind of stifling somebody else's potential. Music is, like I've mentioned months ago, music is an emotional art. And it can be stifled with the smallest thing. And what you try to do is eliminate that. Eliminate as much as you can. You can't solve anybody's problems. You can't take everything away or whatever is triggering or bothering them at the point. But you want to create an environment, a safe haven, if you will, that when you come in that environment, you're safe. You're not judged. You're not looked upon. You come into a family. Okay, and that's what you want people to see. Deatra said, I know a choir that is told to wear any pastel color is really hard to follow. It is. It looks like confusion. And you kind of sit there like, and the thing is, if you tell everybody, say, okay, wear light blue, everybody say, wear light blue. I promise you, you will get like 20 shades of light blue. It will not. Some people will actually wear purple or royal blue. That is not light blue. And so that's why a lot of times the choirs now are going back to standard colors, except if you Ricky Dillard or Donald Lawrence in Tri-City or Richard Smallwood or Mississippi Mass or Chicago Mass. See, they pay dues. They pay to have those clothes made. All of us ain't that blessed to have people in the choir that's willing to pay that kind of money. But they can have all of these designs and things of that sort, and they look beautiful and wonderful. And when we see them, we're excited to see them because you're looking at them like, oh my God, they look so beautiful. That is and they move as one. You can just see the camaraderie and how they all get along. Now, there's always something going on, but overall you can see because they all got one mind to come together and do one thing. And that's what you want to promote. And that's what you want to see among your choir. And I know a lot of people, I know with youth choirs it's a little different. We dress down just a little bit, but at the same time, when we have those youth choirs, even with the one that I have, they're small, it's a little small group kids. If we're outside at a concert, and that's another thing, you have to take in consideration where you are, your venue. If you're in a convocation or a major convention, well, yeah, you got to kick it up a notch. You're not going to walk up there with just, if it's a midnight musical and they tell everybody to be casual, then yeah, you can be dressed down. Okay. But if it's a convention, dress according. What does Ecclesiastes 3:1 say? There is a time and a season for everything. Know the seasons. Everything is not appropriate for everything. You understand what I'm saying? If you were going to an after 5 event, you know, your casual clothes is not what you wear there. If they say black tie, then that's what you got to do. Come in with a black suit and a bow tie, find you something that's somewhat within that realm. You understand what I'm saying? So it depends on the venue you are. But with the youth choir, I have the little people, and you know, like I said, when we outside, we doing the, you know, the neighborhood thing. I tell them wear denim, you know, and get your little t-shirt and, you know, whatever, your gym shoes, you know, whatever. But I also, and this is where we kind of fall down at. We try to, and I know we try to be relevant to the young people, and we try to do things to accept. But at the same time, we also need to show them how they should do if they're in another setting. Okay? And we have to train them. A lot of times we can, you know, I hear people complaining, these young people don't know how to look, they don't know how to dress, they are quiet, blah, 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 blah. But we have to have people in front of them to teach them how they should be. You know, a lot of times people do things because they don't know any better. They don't have anybody telling them, and they only follow what they see. It's the truth. People only follow what they see. And most people that don't know what's going on, they follow what they see. And it's up to us as leaders to show them how. Okay, we on this venue, this is how we dress. We on this venue, this is how we do. We, you know, you have to give them options and teach them and show them how to do. And that kind of disturbs me, because then, you know, I'm like, well, if you're going to complain about it, then you ought to give them an alternative. And that's what we need to do. Give them an alternative. We have to be examples, first of all, and let them know that we are having the uniforms and all of that, but that is not the whole picture, but that's part of the picture, because then the other side of the picture is your spiritual walk with Christ. That will illuminate no matter what you got on. But uniforms help channel so that we're not focused on all of this stuff going on. We can focus on you. It's like myself here, you know, and a lot of times I tell people, I'm going to go to the directors, because that's really where everybody really wants me to go. Aaron says, choir robes are fading away. However, they were very useful. My childhood church of 10 years was Old Landmark. Oh, wow. Bishop Mitchell. Yeah. Yeah, I know about Bishop Mitchell. And they had over 60 plus different choir robes for over 100 people. Yeah. Yeah. That is true. I know about them. And that says, well, it's not a distraction in every instance, the various pastel colors. Our choirs have worn any pastel colored tops and black bottoms, and it looked very nice. And that's true. That depends on it depends on the venue. Of course, the lighting has something to do with it. And it just depends on the overall, if everybody understands what pastel colors are. To the next point, everybody may not know what really pastel color, because I mean, in your choir, it may be different, and it comes out really pretty when everybody wears that level. But some people, when they tell everybody wear pastel, I've seen choirs come in, and that is not pastel. I mean, you get all kinds of things. Hey, Jessica, you get all kinds of things, and you kind of sitting back going, oh my God, you know. But in some instances, it can be very pretty. I know in one choir they standardized the pastel. You either had pink, light blue, yellow, or mint, and then they had everybody positioned from a color standpoint, you know, so it kind of flowed a little bit. So it was pretty. It was pretty the way they had it. And sometimes they have the altos wearing one color, the sopranos wearing another color. I mean, they kind of blended it up. So and that's point, that's true. It depends. It really depends. It varies. But I still, I'm old school, y'all, in some stuff. I'm old school. And I just think the choir robes look better. It has a smoother look, you know, because all of us beautiful ladies are not the same. And it makes all of us look good at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes everybody doesn't understand how to do certain things, and then we get all kind of views. And we don't want anybody, right? You know, you don't want anybody to feel bad. You know, you don't. So a lot of times I promote wearing robes, especially when I have all different, you know, people, sizes of people. Some are pleasingly plump, and some are, you know, on the pencil side. So I try to keep it even so that everybody feels good. Nobody feels self-conscious and things of that sort. That's why I do uniforms, and I also do robes. Now, my ladies, you know, probably because I'm I'm like a corporate person, they wear like blazers. You know, they may wear a dress, but they'll throw a blazer on it to give it that suit look. So they have a smoother, look, they like wearing jackets and blazers. So they, everybody wears the blazer. And I mean, it all depends on your choir, depends upon your church, how they do things. But that's just how I do it. And that's my opinion on, with a choir. I believe in robes. I just think I do. But also uniforms look nice. It depends on how you do it. And if you work with people, and one thing I learned about people is that when they come into an organization, they may not understand how to do things. So you can't jump on them and say, that's not the way to do it. But you can't do that because everybody doesn't know and they don't understand exactly how it rolls. They just want to be a part of an organization. They just want to do something. And you don't want to discourage them. So a lot of times you have to pull them to the side and kind of coach them, along the way. And I mean, even some of the newer ones I went shopping with them to just kind of give them an idea, help them pick something that flatters them and not necessarily looking like me, but it just flatters you and it looks nice and it blends in with the group, just giving you ideas. Okay. And that said, my personal summers kick in now since I want those robes. Like, yeah. It can be kind of hot. And Annette has she goes to one of those big, pretty churches with all the spotlights. Her church is beautiful. It has all them lights. And those lights are hot. We have a few spotlights in our ceiling, and they are hot. Because, I mean, when I'm sitting on the organ and those things are beaming down, you can sweat. It's like sweatorama sitting up there. Okay. Let me move on to the other part. Deatrice says, I'm old school. I still like uniforms or robe. Me too, Deatrice. I try to be flexible because I have mixed people, but I personally do. That's just my preference. Let me move over to the directors, which is where everybody's been pushing me, telling me to talk about. Let me just give you a little bit of my background. With this particular show, I pretty much keep everything kind of down. Not that I can't spruce it up, but my thing is for my type of show. Now, each of like Annette has more of a talk show, and Annette is the glam. I'm glam too, but right now I'm not. I'm not trying to be glam, but Annette is very, very pretty, and she dresses and everything because that's the venue of her show. My one here. I kind of want you to focus more on what I'm saying because I'm doing music. I'm doing the choir, so I kind of reflect that kind of image. My teaching, I like teaching. She said since I turned 50, I like teaching. My background comes. I've been a corporate, what we call a corporate guinea for over 30 years. I was blessed to be one of those young people that got into corporate America, into the corporate management program at 19. And they kind of trained me all the way up. So I've always been around executives and everybody like that. And so in that environment, you tend to dress a certain way, professional, whatever. I have my old school ways, but I like a little kick in my wardrobe. Every now and then I throw on something trendy and keep going. That's just me. And then also I grew up through the ranks on the choir side. And I've always been in leadership on the choir side. I've always been the one, and by me being that way, I think I was kind of born a leader, kind of like David. I didn't want to accept it because I don't have to lead. I'm the person that you see in the back. I'm quite content being a section leader in the back, boosting everybody. That's basically the way I like to be. But then, I got called out kind of like David. You think about David. He was a king all the time, even though he was with the sheep. He was a king all the time. He was a warrior all the time. But he had to get to a certain spiritual level before God brought him out where he was identified and he would be the next king. But even then, he didn't step into the role at that point. He had to grow up and get to another spiritual level before God set him there. Let me preface with this. When I'm getting ready to talk about with the choir directors, I know growing up in the church, we always had those people that would say, tell you, you can't wear fancy stuff. You can't do this. You can't wear, whatever, you can't wear a mink coat. Blah, blah, blah. You shouldn't do that. That's too blah, 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 blah. Okay. Well, when I got older, I later found, I kind of sat there like, really? My mom always did me with the fancy way. So I'm kind of sitting there going, really? But as I got older, I found out that a lot of times they would be saying those things because they didn't have the the whereabouts, or they didn't have it themselves. And then when they got into that arena, then all of a sudden I'm looking at you and you got a fur coat on, you got, and I'm looking like, whoa, hold on, 10 years ago, didn't you say we weren't supposed to do that? So let me preface this, and those that have seen me in person, that know me personally, I'm a red bottom, Gucci, Versace, whatever designer there is, Chloe, whatever. So whatever I'm about to say is not because I don't know how to dress. I don't have those things. I have never been that type of person to discourage people from fixing them. My ladies in my choir would tell you, I'm always on them. Get them heels out. What in the world is that? I'm always like trying to, I don't worry so much about myself, what I wear, but I try to make my choir look good. So I'm saying that so that whatever I say, you know that I'm not trying to put you in this little glass thing and you can't do this. No, I'm not like that. I believe everybody should look good from the inside out. What God has blessed you with, you wear with pride and joy. Pride, not the haughty, but the happiness in that God blessed you with it. Okay, I just want to preface that. But I'm not the kind of person to beat anybody down and say you got to look like me. I look like I do because that's the way God made me to be. Okay, you do you, I do me, and we all get along and love one another. That's how I believe. But I do believe there are certain protocols that we should adhere to as being leaders. You're standing in front of people. There is a certain way you can conduct yourself. And like I said, it depends on the venue. If I'm out and about and I'm meeting, if just say if I was a politician and I was meeting people and I'm running for office, well, if I'm outside early in the morning, everybody jogging, I don't have to walk out there in a suit. I can just be in regular clothes because people, they don't really care. But if I'm standing and doing a presentation, or I'm standing before on TV or something in that kind of a venue, then I need to dress appropriately. Okay, all that being said, right? Directors need to remember that you are leaders. Okay, you make a statement. You set the bar. You are not a status. Okay, like Facebook, you're single today. You're in a relationship tomorrow. It's complicated the next day. You don't change like that. Okay? You don't change. Nobody can follow you if every time, okay, today you this and tomorrow you that. And no, you need to be a statement. You have a style. You're not a fad. You know what I'm saying? I can't follow somebody and every time I turn around, I don't know what you're going to look like. As leaders, you set the bar. You're a statement piece. You ever know, with some clothes and some purses and things, some of the designer things, they're statement pieces. They supposed to say, I come from the fashion arena. I was a model when I was younger. I did that before I got in corporate America. I was modeling, but then my father told me I had to go to college. And I had to drop the modeling and start focusing on my education. Yeah, okay. But anyway, you wear all of these different things for statement. It's a piece. That's what you are as a leader. You make a statement. When I stand, or when anybody stands before people, they should have confidence to know that you're going to be the same every day. Now, as a leader, you should be growing spiritually. Okay? You don't need to be leading somebody if you falling into the same ditch they falling in. Come on, somebody. If you got a relationship with God and you've been with God for a while, you should be mature to a point where you still not stumbling over telling stories and all this other kind of jazz. That's over there. You shouldn't be struggling with that. You know what I'm saying? We do have our moments. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't get upset. I don't get an attitude, but I've learned that when I get upset, everybody calls me little Dr. Maddie Moss Clark, but I don't get so upset, and I love that lady, but I don't get so upset that I throw a shoe at somebody. I don't do that. I stand down, I'm like, y'all give me a minute. I need to pull it in right now because you aggravate me. And I might be smiling, but they all know she's serious at a heart attack. I'm just trying to hold on to this thing. Okay? We don't react the way everybody else does. You should be growing spiritually. How you gonna lead somebody and you on the same level as them? The Bible says the blind lead the blind, they both falling in the ditch. How can I lead you and I can't see no more than what you see? So you have to grow spiritually. God has developed you. Now he developed David. When David became king, he was aware he was supposed to be spiritually. Okay? This is what I'm talking about, being a leader. It's more to just doing this. You know, all that kind of stuff. We can all do that. I mean, don't take a genius. If you study the song long enough, even if you direct like this, if you study that song long enough, all you got to do is tell them which way to go. I don't care what signals you use. Whatever. It doesn't matter, as long as they know where you're going. That doesn't really take anything. But your spiritual development impacts that choir. It impacts their appearance. Because a person who has a mature mindset, they think differently from somebody that is just like on a whim. Whatever blows, whatever. They think differently. I'm not looking at trend. I'm looking down the road. What can this group of aggregation of people become? That's what you're looking at. But when you're a leader, the first part, you need to realize who you represent. Okay? When you're directing the choir, you over the choir, and I thank God I just got promoted to being the president and state minister of music for Third Jurisdictions Choir. I thank God for the opportunity. I'm going to serve as long as I can, and then I'm going to train somebody. I'm going to move on. I already got my succession plan in place for somebody to replace me when it's time. Okay? But anyway, the thing is, I realize it's not about me. It's not about me using that as a platform to showcase myself. They chose me because they already know what I can do. So it's not a point of me getting up showing off. It's a point of me developing leaders so that when I decide that it's time for me to stand down and be emeritused, there's somebody there that's capable to take my place. I know that they can't be me, but, that's my job. So we have to understand it's not about you. When you're the director, it's not about you. You're the vehicle that God chose to be an example for this generation at this particular time. He needs you as a leader to stand and lift up a standard and show them how this is supposed to be, because he already took you through all of these trials and tribulations and things, and you passed all of the tests. That's why he bumped you up to the next level. Now he's expecting you, whatever you did to get to that next level, praying faster and staying in your word. That's a big mistake directors make. When you achieve that status that you want, then you retract from what you were doing before you got there. If you were praying and fasting and reading your word and studying and meditating on God before you got there, then you got to do that to keep it, because you're going to fall away from what God predestined for you to do. Sometimes God will let you fall like he did David. Sometimes he won't be that safety net. He just let you hit the ground. And you'll learn from that what you should be doing in the process. But my main thing, it's not about you. Sometimes I know some people use that platform as a way to show off, my clothes and all that kind of stuff. I mean, they all know me. I come in, I have my bags, I have my shoes, my hair, A lot of times I wear a bun now. A lot, but most of the time I have my hair fixed or style or whatever. They all know me. When I walk in the door, they be like, here she come. But then they know whatever I'm doing, it's not about what I got on, even though I may be dressed properly. I'm always dressed properly. But I'm about giving glory to God. I'm making sure that whatever I do, whatever song I select, that it blesses the heart of the people. I'm not campaigning for the job. I already got the job. So my job is to bring glory to God and make sure that the people that follow me are inspired. You want to be an inspiration. You have to be set apart in order to be an inspiration. The world doesn't recognize you if you just like them. They need to see something different. Everybody doing the same thing. Okay, well, what I need to follow you for? You understand what I'm saying? I mean, we're all different leaders in different rights, and he puts us in different venues to lead at certain particular times. It doesn't matter if you're a nurse in a hospital. You are still a leader. You leading somebody. Somebody is watching you as a guide arm or a guide to show them how it should be done. And we don't want people to follow us for fleshly reasons. You don't want them to be looking at you and you all in your flesh. And that's why, I don't want. Because if you got to follow me for my flesh, then I'm going to sit down. I'm going to sit my own self down. As Pastor John Hannah says, get somewhere and sit down. I'm going to do that myself. I don't need nobody to tell me to sit down. You know when you're off inside. You know what I'm saying? So realizing that you're not a status, you don't change every day, you stay the same. People need to see stability. In this world, there is no stability. Oh my God. The, the leaders, okay, Socrates said, and I know I'm deviating a little bit. Socrates said, he that refuses to involve himself in politics will one day be ruled by inferiors. That's all I got to say. Same thing happens with anything else. Do your due diligence, do your part. Okay, do your studying, doing whatever you need to do, but make sure that spiritual life is at the point so you can maintain and be an example that young people can follow. Even people around your age will notice that you stand out. You walk to the beat of a different drummer. They can follow you. They have confidence in you that this person is really who they say they are. And you want to be real. As a leader, when you're on the platform, and you're leading the aggregation of folks, even if it's 5, 10, 15, it doesn't matter how many people it are. You want to be real. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be a veneer. You don't want to be that veneer brick when it hit, the whole thing falls down. You don't want to be a prop. You look good in the front, but then when I go behind and look, that kind of killed me with the movies now. I can't hardly watch a movie because I know when I walk behind that wall, ain't nothing there. But anyway, you don't want people to look at you as that either. That you all props and there's nothing else behind you. You want them to be able to see the entire person, know that I am one of those people that I had my struggles, I had everything, but I got in touch with God and worked on that relationship with him, and he brought me up to a point. And you can reach that point too. We have to give people hope. We have to let them know leadership is not about fad and fame and all of that. Leadership is about giving people hope through Christ. In the church world, through Christ, that things you can get better. If the world doesn't get better, your life can get better. Okay, I don't even know why I went off on that. I'm like, oh my God, I act like I'm in my church teaching. When they call me up and say bring a message, I'm like, oh my God. But anyway, moving on. My next point is you dress for the occasion as a leader. You really have to be careful what you do. I know a lot of people have an issue with this, and they say it's not all about what I got on or whatever. It does. Yeah, it does. And this is why I'm going to tell you this. If you are on a platform standing, let me go back. 2 points I want to bring out. Number one, remember at Aretha Franklin's funeral? And the young lady got up there and sang, and she didn't have on the proper garments. I fought the manager and everybody else. They should have told her. She didn't know. So, I couldn't really look at her and roll my eyes, even though half the world was. But she didn't know. So it was their job to really tell her and school her on what she should have done. Now, if you are a director, and if most of the time, if you're a choir director, you've been in church for some length of time. I don't expect you to walk up there with a skirt that's half your leg proportion, and you on a platform up here, and everybody's looking like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? You're giving a free show. You don't want to do that. You should know that certain venues require certain looks. I ain't telling you to do the granny thing, because I don't. I wear it all. Sometimes I wear them long, sometimes I wear them right. But when I know that I'm going to sit on a platform, or I'm going to stand on a platform, and I'm going to be up above people where they can kind of, you know what I'm saying? It just looks nice when you have things at a proper length and you're covered properly. We're all different. Sometimes you can get away with a dress. Sometimes, you should think about what you're doing. As Annette said, there's a time and place for a certain attire. Exactly. You should think about what you're doing and who you're doing. And this goes for the men as well. You should think about what, we ain't trying to see everything, all whatever. Most of the time, the men that I'm around, they do dress very nicely. They don't do that. But as it's across the board, it doesn't matter if you're male or female. Think about your attire, okay? Because, and I generally tell people, sometimes we get into the, whatever. And I generally tell people, I say, you know what? When you're standing before a congregation in a convention or a church or something like that, and you know that you're going to be up against people, to be safe, dress professional. Act like you're going on a job interview. You can't go wrong. If you get confused and you don't know, do that. You'll be safe in that arena. Another thing I always suggest to people when you're dress for an event or whatever, do a 360. Get you a 360 look, a mirror where you can see 360. You can see, because sometimes we get caught up in how we look in the front. We don't notice how we look in the back. We don't know. And, the view from the back is different from the view in the front. So do what get the side view mirrors and look around, okay? One thing I noticed I kind of see a trend with the robes, and I don't know, some of you out there may have been told that, but when you wear choral robes, things should be at a minimum. We should be a minimalist, because the whole idea is to make everybody look at that. Now, if everybody got the same watch, got the same stuff on, then that's different, but everybody needs to be doing the same thing. You understand what I'm saying? When you are standing on the platform and you're directing, you don't want to take away from the song and the music. You don't want people to be so focused looking at you that they don't hear nothing the choir's doing. They don't hear the musicians. They don't even see God. They focus on you. You know what I'm saying? When I dress and I know I'm going to direct, I wear my cute suits and, shoes. I'm looking smart. I'm not going to look tacky standing up there, because I'm not 75, and I'm not going to dress like I'm 75, because I'm not. I ain't 60. I am not in my 60s, and I'm not going to dress like I'm in my 60s either. Okay? I dress smart. All right? But at the same time, I take in consideration where I'm standing. If sometimes when we're in position, I take in consideration if I'm standing in front of a group of men. I mean, all of this comes into play. You may say, well, it don't matter. They should, it doesn't matter. But it says something about you as a person, as a leader. It says something about you, how you conduct yourself and what you're doing. I'm always cognizant of my surroundings. Not that I operate in fear, but I'm cognizant because, let's just keep this thing real. Crystal, amen. Yeah, it can be applied in more areas in the music ministry. Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for watching. Let's just keep this real. I take in consideration, me directing in the jurisdiction. Where we have to stand is generally in front of the men, because they're on the platform, and you got to stand up on the platform because I'm so short. You can't see me if I'm standing down on the floor, and I wear 4-inch heels, and you can't. They be like, we can't see you. You need to stand on the platform. So I have to do that. Well, in my process of standing there, I got all these men behind me, so I'm cognizant of what I'm doing. Thank you, Timothy. Thank you. I'm cognizant of what I wear, of what I'm doing, of where I'm standing, even in my shoes, everything. I got all of that in consideration. Why? You know what? Because I'm thinking, you have to do unto others as you would have them to do unto you. And I know good and well, I would not really want somebody standing in front of my spouse with the improper things on, and everybody's uncomfortable. I wouldn't appreciate that. So what do? I take in consideration, because I am my brother's keeper. That's my sister's blessing, but I'm still my brother. I am my brother's keeper. And I don't want them, and that's one thing they always tell me. They say, you know what, you about one of the few that we can actually watch direct and won't be accused of lusting, because I make sure I check. I make sure, and I be doing this, and I'm moving, I'm doing all kinds of stuff. But they can watch and not be accused of, oh my God, and amen. And that indeed your attire tells so much about you. It does. And but I'm thinking, I don't want to be a distraction, because they can't enjoy the music for looking at me. You know what I'm saying? So think about what you're doing. We're not up there to be sexy. You can't be sexy directing a choir, y'all. You can't. It's not your job. When I'm standing up there, oh, hey, Elder Kevin McGee. And Elder Kevin McGee has seen me direct so many times. He'll tell you I'm one of the most conservative people standing up there, because I'm cognizant of them. I don't want to cause anybody to get off on some tangent and whatever else. I try to do my best and represent God in the best way possible, so that I can encourage somebody else. Sometimes I wear the robe, sometimes I wear clothes. And they always request me to direct that song, Total Praise. And everybody tell me the same thing. I didn't even hear the chorus. All I saw was the Spirit of God moving. You moving. No, and then you can't be a sec. How you gonna direct the choir? You can't be. I mean, seriously. I mean, they do it. They try to do it, but I'm just kind of sitting there going, we ain't going nowhere. Your true job is to represent God, and you want everything about you to be in sync, so you won't be a distraction. You can be beautiful and attractive and not a distraction from what your purpose is at that moment. Let's just keep, and be real in what you're doing. And I mean, I'm all over, and like I said, I'm all over the place when I direct. I be running, I jump and, whatever, but I'm comfortable. And ladies also, and gentlemen, make sure you all are proper. But ladies, as we all saw that video the other week, and I know we don't like to do certain things. We don't like to wear certain things. But we need to do certain things. We need to wear certain things. I'm sure everybody across the globe saw the beautiful lady. She's a very beautiful lady. I actually saw a video of another side view of her. Very beautiful lady that she was directing the choir, and she got so excited, and boom, her skirt fell down. Thank God she had on the right stuff. Okay, this is why, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, and that, that happened to me, you can get in a, right, slips are us. Exactly. Ellen McGee, stop playing. Yeah, I am all over the place. All right. But anyway, we make sure, that's why I was saying, get you a 360 view so that you can make sure that everything is in place. Because sometimes you can get in a hurry and you're not buttoning your clothes right. You don't zip, you just running. You trying to get to wherever you got to go. Take the time to check yourself and look around and make sure everything is right. Everything is in the right spot. Everything is gelling. You're feeling good. You can stretch. You can move. You're not going, I even had one directress. She was directing, at least, well, her skirt fell down. The other girl's skirt split. Just like that, So make sure everything is right. I'm not picking on the ladies, but I'm just saying we see, I want us all to be in the positive light. Exactly. Ellen McGee said, wear a slip when you waving those arms. Now that's from a man, y'all. Come on. But I just want, I'm just giving out pointers. I mean, I've been asked to talk about this and talk about it. And this is not a beat up session. I'm not trying to beat anybody up. All I'm trying to do is share information to help you, so that you won't be a laughing stock. Somebody won't be having a video and putting you out there, as Ella McGee. I don't want to lose anything when you direct. I hope you don't. That's why y'all wear belts and suspenders are us, right? But anyway, I don't, it's not a beat up session for me, but I'm hoping that I said something to encourage you. I tried to make it as positive as possible, because delivery is key when you're doing anything. When you're talking to people, delivery is key. And I'm not bashing. I'm not trying to discourage anybody or anything like that. I'm just trying to help, inspire people and show you another venue, because we don't have many examples out here. And I'm tired of hearing about what the young people and what young ladies and what women and what the young men and what they, what they're not doing. But somebody needs to share the information with them and let them know. Learn protocols. Learn the protocols. It's important to learn protocol. And that's lacking as well. I remember when I was younger growing up, we had the classes, we had the charm classes, we had the purity classes, and I was sent to modeling classes. We were taught how to wear colors, how your clothes should fit, how your hair should be laid when you're wearing certain collars, and what you could put together and what you couldn't. I mean, we learned all of that, and that is what's lacking. Yeah, we free and we can wear different things, whatever. Okay, but then we need to know. We need to know how we need to act. What you say, Ella McGee? As a pastor, if there is no proper decorum when directing, you may have to be set down until you get it together. Well, yeah, pastors have that prerogative. They really do, because you're really standing in front of the people, and you don't want things running, the train running, because only thing I hate is that when, sometimes we allow certain things, and then once the horse get out the barn, not everybody's trying to bring the horse back in the barn. We need to be taught. We need sharing. We need all of these different things. A lot of times people know where they want to be, but they don't know how to get there. They don't have a change management specialist to help them get to where they really want to be. And that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm a director and I love directing. That is my passion. But I'm also at this point acting as a change management specialist, giving people pointers on how to get where you really want to be. And that's all I'm trying to do. I hope I said something to help everybody. Please like and share this video. You know, I hope it came across right, because I really did not. I don't want it to come across maliciously. I want it to come across that I really have a love for the people, and I really want to share good information with you so to just help you do better. You know, I have mentors. I have mentors, and I have people that are outside the music industry that are in corporate America. They have nothing to do with music ministry, and they are my mentors. They encourage me, and they also correct me on things. They watch these videos. They be like, okay, you know, you did well, but you can do this, that, and the other. You know, we all have mentors. We all have people that we all need help. And that's all I'm trying to do is helping the next generation get where I am. And then I got a generation ahead of me helping me get where they are. So let's keep sharing. Let's keep loving everybody. Let's be sweet, be kind. Everybody's having a bad day or a hard time. We all have struggles. I didn't want to say a bad day. That was kind of a bad analogy. But we all have our hardships. We all have our things going on. So let's be nice. Say a kind word to somebody. Wrap your arms around them. If you can't do it physically, do it with your words. Encourage somebody. Uplift somebody. And help make... If you can just make one person's little world a better place, you've done your job. Please like and share this video. YouTube, hit subscribe. Tell your friends. Help me out. Keep giving me all of these comments and all of these ideas for the show. You're helping me. I'm telling you, you're helping me do my job, and I appreciate it. And as long as you keep them coming, I'll keep doing these shows. Deatrice's awesome class tonight. These were life lessons as well as choir directors instruction. Thank you, Deatrice. I'm hoping that I'm doing an all-around, a 360 thing to help everybody. Because, I mean, somebody had to help me. Somebody had to encourage me. Somebody had to share with me. And I'm just sharing knowledge that I got. And I'm hoping that whoever views this video, whether it's this year or next year, that it be an inspiration. All right, so y'all keep me in your prayers. We will not have a class for a couple weeks. Like I said, next week is Halloween. I'm not dealing with that doorbell. I just can't do it. And then the following week, I will be in St. Louis at the National 111th National Holy Convocation and also our mini family reunion. So I'm going to be out, y'all. I'm going to try. If I'm in the choir stand, I will try to take a video so you can see, you know, the mass choir. But otherwise, I'll just be... Oh, I do have a video that I'm going to share with you all next week in place of my video that it's a particular song that everybody's been teaching wrong. On one part, I heard it a long time, but I didn't know, you know. But, and actually the person that wrote the song is teaching it. And it is funny to hear how he corrects it. I've been in a setting where he taught music. And I was just sitting up there laughing because I'm like, oh, my God. I remember when I was sitting right in front of him and he said what he had to say. And I was just kind of like, peace. Okay, I get it right. So I'll share that next week. But until then, you all have a wonderful day. A wonderful night, rather. This is the nighttime. You have a great weekend. I enjoy it. And I thank all of you for joining me. I appreciate you. And as I always say, I'm not telling Ellen McGee. Timothy says, great job, and we appreciate you so much. Thank you, Timothy, and that you're doing a great job. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm not telling y'all. You'll see it next week. I'm not telling you, Timothy, and I'm not telling you, Elder Kevin McGee. I'm not telling you all anything. You wait till next week, and you will see it. Bye, everybody. Peace.